was just gonna I was excusing you also for the Tigers. You this also around when you became a Tigers fan.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I thought I'm glad you brought this up. When I was a kid, I thought since I was born in Milwaukee, I had to be just a Green Bay Packers fan because, I was
Yeah.
born in Milwaukee. And I thought I had to be just a Bucks fan and then eventually a Brewers fan. But I kind of realized that it all came down to the logo. I went to school in England. And when I went there, I suddenly realized that some football teams looked cooler than others, soccer teams, excuse me. So when I moved back to Detroit, the Brewers just weren't, you know, to me something. It was just a bad logo. It was just horrible.
Awesome.
The Bucks, yeah, exactly. Come on, like what the fuck is that shit? But the Tigers, because of
Their fonts. You like their fonts.
Yeah.
I like their font, and it became, people say, I'm moving back to the D, or I'm from the D, and the D is just funny as it is. But the Bucks always had a great logo. The Green Bay Packers always had a great logo, and the Green Bay Packers were killing it back in the '60s with Bart Starr and Donnie Anderson and all those guys, Ray Nitschke, and these names I can still remember. And they actually played real American football in the cold, freezing their nuts off in the snow, running around. And they were named after basically meat packers when you think about it, right? They're not named after, you know, bullshit. So I became a Detroit Tigers fan because I would go to the games every once in a while. And I suddenly realized, and I've said this to people before, but it's like going to see a play. You have an idea who the actors are, but you have no idea what they're going to say when they're on the stage. Because when you walked into Tiger Stadium, the old Mickey Briggs Field, you would walk in there and it just felt like this was on display in front of you. It was all well lit. You could watch this game happening and it's all happening, but you don't know what the script is. They don't know what the script is. It's all improvised. And I would sit there with friends and just go, this is fucking amazing. Because baseball is just fucking trippy. Football, not a huge American football, not a huge fan of because it's too many starts and stops.
Yeah.
And after playing rugby in England for 4 or 5 years, destroying my knees in the meantime, I suddenly realized that American football is chess with shoulder pads. That's all it really is. Too many. Oh, let's put it here. Fuck that shit. Rugby goes 45 minutes. They give you a slice of orange, and then you got to go for 45 minutes more. That's brutal.
That's soccer as well.
Soccer too. Yeah.
Soccer as well. Yes.
I'm a soccer guy too. So who's your football club?
Sheffield Wednesday, because my mother was born in Sheffield, and it's just such an amazing name. And funny that I was looking at it yesterday, the fact that the original teams, they had different teams, and they would only play on Wednesday. So that's why they're called Sheffield Wednesday. Their their logo is an owl, and my mother, for some reason, used to collect owls. In fact, I've got one in the other room, this big crystal owl, and I kept thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, So my mother must have been in the team as well. But Sheffield Wednesday, they don't do shit. It's like watching Wrexham, but it's I get it. But you got to always root for the underdog. You have to.
Right. No, I get that's why you root for Detroit. You must have been you must have loved Mark Fidrich then. I think like
I did. I was always about the freaks.
Yeah.
Uh, Blackjack McDowell, who lived here in San Diego for a while, was also a musician. I became friends with him. He's another one of those. He would talk to the ball. He's a trippy motherfucker. But I go to games with him every once in a while when he kind of retired. I don't think he was, become kind of like a coach for some of the teams here in San Diego. But he was, well, I haven't talked to him in a long time. I haven't called him in a long time either, but he's an amazing character. And he reminded me of Fidrich.
Yeah.
Screaming and yelling at the ball and doing weird things. And, way better than baseball today.
He played for the Dodgers for a little bit.
I think he did. He played for was the White Sox. See, this is the thing. I would hang. Yeah. I'd hang with him. We talk about music.
Yeah.
Well,
he had the What's the name of his band?
Stick Figure.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.